So, you have 1 week to make a game. What do you make? I was thinking of a few ideas, but one I had from a few months ago after watching a video about a game jam was a platformer with a robot on a timer. Let me explain. Imagine a platformer where every jump you make will have consequences, draining your battery. Now, imagine you are platforming and you have to move around the world itself using the physics of your character rather than using the movement options they have on their own. It could be fun to implement a physics-like system or something. Truth is, this was way too ambitious. But I didn't know that! Creating a character that interacts in the world in a physics way is probably easier than I made it, but I did what I knew, and unfortunately, that was a lot more messier than I thought it was gonna be. I started with the character, using the preset character body 2D script, making this in Godot, by the way, and then I started evolving it from there. I made Gobo, the robot, out of vector shapes, and I added a little movement animation. I then spent time trying to perfect the movement in physics. This is where I made my first error. I ended up spending most of my time on this. It was a lot of trial and a lot of error, and eventually just settling on something that was serviceable at best. Truth be told, it's just math, and learning how to track various variables to create momentum and junk is not as complicated. I guess it is, but I think I overcomplicated it for myself, you know what I mean? I didn't do it very well, and I only had 2 days left after the fact. I could make a million excuses, but honestly, I just failed to keep myself in line. Too much non-focus, you know what I mean? So, we then move on to creating the world itself. I mean, the world is made, and it works. It's akin to something like Getting Over It, where it's a bit crazy to control, and the mistakes can set you back more than you'd like, but there's enough cheese as well, allowing yourself to get ahead without feeling too frustrated. But my biggest failure was, again, too much ambition for a week. I didn't realize my limits, until it was too late, of course. Kind of literally, but I made the world with some theming, kind of, using vector shapes again, and so gave it this very simple, shapey vibe, something you'd see on the mobile app store in 2010. When it came to the music and the style, there is very little, as I had probably negative 12 hours left. But generally, I tried to follow a little bit of a formula. It turned out. Maybe I should be a bit nicer to myself. I mean, the game was finished, and I did in fact make it myself. And maybe years from now, future me will have an appreciation for this project that I don't. And again, the game was finished. So why? Why am I so frustrated? Is it that this game isn't the image I had in my head? Well, it was never going to be. First of all, it's impossible to match your vision 1-to-1. And second of all, it was a week-long project. Even if I had unrestrained skill, I had extremely limited time. Could I have scheduled time better? Probably. Did I spend too much time unfocused? Also, probably. But, at the end of the day, there is a finished game here. Honestly, I had no motivation for this project towards the end, especially once I got a little bit over that deadline and I was like, I just need this to be done. But, ironically, when I had no motivation, when I wanted to do literally anything else besides this, that is when I got the most done, I feel. I don't know why that is. Maybe that's worth thinking about for a little bit. But, point is, through dread, blood, sweat, tears, and just stubbornness, I guess, I finished my second game. Is it perfect? Oh, hell no, dude. But it is real. It really exists. And, you know, maybe I won't share it as much as I did with my previous game, but I did it. And that's the point, right? We're not trying to make perfect games. We're trying to learn the skill of making games within itself. And I mean, I am learning bit by bit. Bit by bit. Anyway, thank you very much. I will see you eventually, soon, later, who knows. Bye-bye now.